Princess Catherine stuns in Scarlet Catherine Walker coat with a statement bow as she and William arrive at Horse Guards Parade to welcome the South Korean president and his wife to the UK. Catherine looked chic in a £3,000 red coat from Catherine Walker as she joined her husband Prince William to meet the President and First Lady of South Korea today. The Princess of Wales, 41, wore her hair up in a sleek bun and opted for a glamorous makeup look including a smoky eye as she drove to Horse Guards Parade after meeting Yoon Suk-yeol and his wife Kim Ki-hee. Opting for complimenting Gianvito Rossi shoes and a matching hat, Kate paid a subtle tribute to the late Queen, who too was a fan of color blocking. To add a further glitz to the look, Kate sported a pair of sapphire diamond oval drop earrings. The royal debuted the coat dress during her Christmas Carol concert at Westminster Abbey in 2021. She wore a black version of the same dress to Prince Philip's funeral. The shoes are also a firm favorite of Kate's, with her owning them in at least 6 colors. The King and Queen officially welcomed the President of South Korea to the UK today. This evening they will stage a glittering state banquet in his honor at Buckingham Palace. Charles and Camilla are hosting Yoon Suk-yeol and his wife Kim Ki-hee for the first incoming state visit since the king's coronation and the second of his reign. The Prince and Princess of Wales played a key role by greeting the President and the First Lady at their hotel on Tuesday morning. William and Kate will travel with Mr. Yoon and Mrs. Kim to the ceremonial welcome on Horse Guards Parade in central London, where the King and Queen will be waiting. A guard of honor, formed by F Company Scots Guards, will give a royal salute amid traditional pomp and pageantry, and the King and Mr. Yoon will inspect the troops on the parade ground. Charles, Camilla, William and Kate and their guests will then travel in a carriage procession down the Mall to the palace, before a private lunch and a visit to see royal collection exhibits in the picture gallery. Later, Mr. Yoon will lay a wreath at the grave of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey and deliver an address in the Royal Gallery at the Palace of Westminster to members of both Houses of Parliament. In the evening, 170 guests will gather for the banquet, customarily a white tie and tiara affair, in the opulent palace ballroom. The King and Queen are expected to be joined by William, Kate and other members of the royal family, while Charles and Mr. Yoon will make speeches. Foreign secretaries are also usually invited, meaning the newly appointed Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton is likely to make a return to dining at the royal residence, harking back to the days when he was Prime Minister. Mr. Yoon, 62, is a known fan of karaoke and in April belted out a verse of one of his favorite songs, American Pie, at a White House dinner at the request of President Joe Biden during a state visit to the U.S. Mr. Yoon and Mrs. Kim made a low-key arrival at Stansted Airport on Monday. Before his trip, Mr. Yoon said the world is facing a polycrisis of multiple conflicts and threats to humanity. He told the Daily Telegraph that the wars in Ukraine and Israel, and rising tension with Russia, North Korea and in the South China Sea, have compelled him to seek very close security cooperation with the West. He secured a landmark deal with the U.S. earlier this year to counter the North Korean nuclear threat. Mr. Yoon previously warned fellow world leaders about possible cooperation between North Korea and Russia after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The king and the South Korean president met last year at the reception for heads of state and official overseas guests at the palace on the eve of the late Queen's funeral. Mr. Yoon's opponents accused him of being disrespectful during his trip to London after he missed the chance to view the late Queen's coffin lying in state, which he blamed on heavy traffic. He was also caught on microphone swearing after a chat with Mr. Biden at the UN General Assembly the following week, with the footage going viral in his home country. The king visited South Korea in November 1992. As the Prince of Wales, he carried out the tour with his then-wife, Diana, Princess of Wales, but the pair were branded the Glums for looking ill at ease together, and a month later it was announced Charles and Diana were separating. On Wednesday, Mr. Yoon will hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak at Downing Street and also meet Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer. The state visit follows the first incoming one of the king's reign by South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa last autumn.